Ladies
Talk
and
Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Jesus podcast. We're fucking up big time before calling in there. I think I'm a minute late, or I don't know what the fuck, but we're here.
We're here.
And we're live with the Hulkster, ladies and gentlemen.
What up, people?
Apology for technical difficulties there in the first minute. If y'all say, y'all don't know what the fuck you're doing, y'all are a bunch of noobs, well, that would be the truth, people.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, why the fuck is the Wrestling Jesus on Blog Talk Radio? Well, because I am done with the YouTube wrestling community. I usually do my wrestling vids on YouTube. But since the community are psychotic,
a little bit too crazy for us there.
So I've decided to take my wrestling talk to podcast form, the Wrestling Jesus podcast. So yeah, still gonna be on YouTube. I'm gonna be making vids on a variety of different things.
Yeah, different topics and whatever comes to mind.
But wrestling is still in my blood, people. Gonna be making my podcast on Wrestling Jesus podcast. Here on Blog Talk Radio. I'm fucking up big time here. Gonna be discussing wrestling on Twitter as well. So here we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Jesus podcast. This is episode 1. I am here with the Hulkster.
What up?
So first thing I want to talk about is Evolution. People were giving me crap. Why didn't you watch Raw? Why didn't you review Raw? I started watching. I watched a tribute to Warrior. Thought it was a nice little tribute.
Oh, yeah.
But then it was the Intercontinental title tournament, and I decided, fuck this trash. Fuck it. I was busy doing other shit, so
Yeah, we're kind of busy there.
so I didn't watch it. But Evolution, getting back together, I have no problems with it.
Yeah, me neither. Good thing, man.
You know, if they're there, might as well use it. Might as well do something
with them. You know, bring viewers back and
something that's a little bit cool or whatever.
yeah, well, yeah, that too. You know, back in the days, you know, bring the whole wrestling fans back. You know, be pretty good. So, I'm happy that they're back.
Triple H, you know, if he can wrestle, might as well use him.
Yeah.
They has a lack of stars.
Yeah.
No main eventers.
And he's a new boss, so, you know, it's better for him to fight, you know, to have that, you know, boss image and the fighting image. You know, you can't mess with him.
Batista, he's being hated by the fans.
Just because, you know, not his fault. It's just because WWE fucked up, you know.
Putting
I don't see
him,
what the big deal is there, but
putting him in Evolution is okay in my opinion.
yeah.
Since he's a bad guy,
Might
might as
cut
well
down the
do
moves.
it.
Daniel Bryan situation.
People will think it's cool and they'll start liking him again.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, you know, just
Yeah.
plain sucks, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Orton fan. It's plain boring, fucking always the same thing.
Doesn't really have much going on, and
Not much on the mic.
might as well put him in Evolution. So happy that they're back.
Yeah.
Now, TNA people. I watched Impact this week. It wasn't too bad.
Well, no, it was better than the previous weeks, but still, like.
You got Eric Young in the main event. Kind of looks cheap
Well,
there.
yeah, especially, you know, a little small champ like that, you know, only did joke characters and fucked up characters, and now he's the champ. Like, I don't get it.
That's what I want to talk. That's what I want to talk about. Eric Young sucking dick as champion. He's only got the belt because he has a beard, pretty much. much. According to Dixie Carter, he's the first man to have a beard, I guess.
That too is funny, you know.
He had a beard before Daniel Bryan. Never mind that, you know, Young doesn't have the talent of Bryan, the mic skills. He doesn't attract any fans. Nothing like this.
Not even the wrestling skills, man.
But he has a beard. He had a beard before Bryan, so apparently that qualifies for championship material in TNA. How fucking sad.
Oh, yeah.
How fucking retarded.
Come on. There's no copyright on beards there, Dixie. You know, like, I invented this. I created this first. It's like, okay, get over it there.
There was some news out that WWE wrestlers were apparently mocking this crap, you know, mocking them, ripping off Bryan and shit. It's clear that they're ripping off Bryan, whether he had a beard before Bryan.
You know?
It's pretty obvious they're doing it just because of Bryan. They try to, like, replicate the Mania stuff with Eric Young. It's like, give me a fucking break. Completely fucking stupid.
Yeah.
TNA are so fucking dumb, man.
Oh, yeah, and it's nothing new, you know, TNA ripping off WWE, you know, their gimmicks and shit, and trying to act like it's theirs. It's like, yeah, okay, you're a rip-off, fuck.
The man is not a serious competitor.
No.
He's like a fucking, you know, Santino. That's the guy we always use. But even Santino is a lot more popular than him.
And more entertaining. I don't know, it goes with Santino, but with Eric Young, it's just like stupid shit that he does over and over again. It's, you know, like that chicken and beer situation, that was just like stupid, you know?
Well, first of all, Eric Young, he's been there for a long time. He's never there. He's there a lot recently, but he hasn't been there because of his fishing show.
So, like, he hasn't been there for like almost 2 years almost?
I've never seen the show. I don't know what he does on it, but I know he was gone for a very long time.
Yeah.
He wasn't on Impact every week, even in the past. He was just like a little side guy there.
Guy, you know?
So you deserve it, you know, for what?
God knows, man. Like, he do nothing.
Been on Impact 10 years. You know, not everybody deserves a belt simply because they've been there, you know. If they have a cleaner that's been there 12 years, should he be champion?
Well, no. Like, if he didn't do nothing, he doesn't deserve it. Because you have to do something that deserves the belt and make people like you, you know?
Some people work in the same job from like 15 to 65, for God's sake.
Yeah.
They'll work the same job 50 years.
Yeah, won't get a promotion.
I'm supposed to believe Eric Young deserves to be fucking described as a legit world champ simply because he's been there for 9 years, 10 years.
And he's got a beard.
And he's got a beard. You know, what the fuck is wrong with this picture?
Yeah, you know, TNA don't know what they're doing.
The man sucks on the mic. Is he a good speaker?
No.
You know, you listen to him speak, it screams indie wrestling. It screams, you know, gymnasium in front of 50 people. I don't look at him and think...
I'm Eric Young.
That's how
I deserve the belt. Like, what? Like, there's no character in your fucking voice there. You're just plain.
He has a steroid voice.
Yeah, you know? Like, come on there. It's not entertaining, fuck. You're not good on the mic.
He doesn't say anything to really pump the crowd. The fans in TNA are screaming yes, for God's sakes. That
too, like, you know, oh no, you're not ripping off Daniel Bryan, but you're doing the yes chant. What the fuck, like?
How does Eric Young feel knowing that they're ripping off TNA and...
I don't know. It's gotta be weird there.
Don't the fans have any fucking sense of, you know...
like, they're ripping them off, you know? Like, it comes from another company.
Screaming yes for Eric Young. It's obvious it's a big rip-off of WWE. Yeah. Why do you guys do it?
And that's like free promotion for WWE, basically, because you're taking their chant and you're putting it in TNA. But it's not TNA's chant. You know, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
He's not impressive in the ring.
Not at all. It's always simple shit.
Very simple wrestling.
You know, comedy wrestling.
Cheesy.
Dumb, cheesy, you know.
Indie garbage comedy wrestling where you pretend to wrestle
Yeah.
the ref and shit like this, you know.
And to be confused and punch, you know, the turnbuckle and stuff, you know, it's like, okay, what?
That doesn't scream main eventer to me. I don't understand. I don't understand why he's the face, you know. There's a match on SmackDown, El Torito against Hornswoggle. I was more entertained by this than fucking Eric Young against
That was actually pretty good, right? And more entertaining, you know? More of a storyline, more, I don't know, believable.
I don't know about believable, but...
no, but, you know,
it's,
compared to Eric Young, you know, to...
It's
like
more,
said, you know, stupid, you know?
More entertaining, fuck, it's super boring, Eric Young against Abyss, fuck. You know, Bubba Ray Dudley, give this man some support! Support him! So shut the fuck up.
It's like, who's gonna listen to you, fuck?
Trying to pull some Hulk Hogan shit.
You know who I am? Yeah, you used to be a champ.
Respect this guy, brother, and we're supposed to just respect him, and that's what Bully Ray's trying to do with Eric Young. Bully Ray can come out screaming, demanding we respect Young. That doesn't make him a credible champion, for God's sake. It looks Bush League, big-time Bush League. Even little indie fans wouldn't put the belt on Eric Young. Fuck.
No. They'd get a guy that's more believable, bigger at least. You know? Like, I don't know, fuck, like, nobody would do that. Give it to Eric Young because he has a beard and he's been in for 10 years. Like, no, give it to Gunner, fuck. Even that is more believable.
TNA Impact last week, 1,415,000 viewers. Eric Young wins the belt this week, 1 million viewers. They lost 400,000 views.
Wow.
After Eric Young won the title.
It's working.
You know, TNA fans, they like to support this crap. Oh, it's okay, it's not Cena. They make excuses for it.
Well, yeah.
But these kind of moves are going to kill your company. It's not everybody that's a TNA psycho who defends everything.
Yeah,
There's
right.
actually wrestling fans with brains who watch this. They're going to see Eric Young. They're going to think, what the fuck is this horse shit? And then they're not going to want to fucking wake up late the next morning to go to work just because they're watching Impact, you know.
Yeah.
They're going to think, fuck it, it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. No.
I ain't going to watch a garbage Eric Young match, not going to watch, you know.
And that too, it's always, look, the indie guys, but, you know, they suck. So you can't put him as a champ only because indie fans like indie guys. You know, that too, it doesn't make any sense because you're going to lose ratings.
Well, normal fans don't
normal
care.
fans don't know them. You know,
That's
so...
the thing, guys like Samoa Joe, you know, that's ROH fans.
Exactly.
They're watching TNA. Yeah, put the belt on Joe.
Yeah, but if you don't know, you know,
But regular
ROH and shit, you know, you're not going to know who Samoa Joe is. You're not going to care.
Regular fans are going to watch Joe. They're going to say, okay, who's this fat ass, you know, cross between CM Punk and The Rock or something there? Who's this fat fucking jobber
Exactly.
who sucks on the mic?
Trying to act like Elvis.
You know, they're going to see this crap, but, you know, they're not going to tune in for Joe. They're not going to buy pay-per-views for Joe just because a minority of net fans like Joe.
Like Joe.
Doesn't mean people are going to like this crap. TNA, they would even defend a German Shepherd as champion. I swear. You know, put the belt on the dog. Put the belt on the German Shepherd. Wrap the fucking belt around him. Have the dog come out to the ring barking in the microphone. Guaranteed you'll have thousands of TNA fans defending it.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
dog.
It's new, motherfucker.
Never been done.
The dog is better than Cena. The dog deserves it.
At least the dog's not PG.
Yeah, that's what they'd say.
He's not a Muppet.
They'd say, that's exactly what they'd say. Oh, it's better Muppets.
It's like stupid excuses they're going to come up with there.
Guaranteed y'all would defend a German Shepherd as champion. I would bet. I'd bet anything that you'd have TNA fans actually defending that kind of crap.
At least a couple thousand, like you said, like, at least.
So yeah, Eric Young fucking sucks as champion. I don't know what the hell TNA are thinking.
And the ratings, well, they just prove it right there, you know. Eric Young ain't going to do it. I don't care if he has a beard.
This is goddamn ridiculous. Sting in WWE.
Yeah.
Sting has finally signed with WWE. We thought that Sting had signed at least fucking 3-4 months ago. We all thought Sting was appearing right after WrestleMania. It didn't happen, people. See, that was a good case of wrestling news people not knowing what the fuck they're talking about. So we all expect Sting on Raw. We don't get it. Sting apparently is appearing on the WWE Network for some Ultimate Warrior shit.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, sure.
Yeah, we don't get the WWE Network in Canada. We're not good enough there. But shouldn't Sting have appeared on Raw before, you know, appearing? You know, I understand it's Ultimate Warrior, but...
Yeah, and it's to promote the WWE Network too, but... like, it'd be better to, you know, show up on Raw right after, you know, Mania. That way there's more impact, you know?
Sting should have showed up on Raw, you know, they should have done something with it.
Yeah.
You know, so now what the fuck's gonna happen? Are they going to do Sting against Taker? Because that's what people want, apparently, on the internet. They want Sting against Taker.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know if Taker's going to come back, or if he retired, or... I don't even know what's going on with him right now. Because he lost the streak, so we can't have a, you know, a Mania moment no more, because the streak is dead, so... I don't know. Maybe if they're going to do it, it'd be nice to see, you know, two old school guys going at each other, you know. But I really doubt it's going to happen.
People wanted this to happen for the streak, but here's the deal with the streak. You need to have guys that makes it look like if Taker's going to lose. Like Lesnar, you know, he's a big, giant guy. Well, that's a bad example because he won. But Triple H, it looked like if he was going to beat Taker.
Yeah.
So then your adrenaline goes up and down, you're freaking out. Every time Triple H goes for the pin, you start screaming. But Sting against Taker, you know, why the fuck would Sting beat Taker for?
You know, it doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm a Sting fan and all, I like Sting, I'm happy that he's going to WWE, but against Undertaker, I don't know, I want to see Undertaker win, obviously. There's more character there, more history, more, you know, bigger matches.
Why should Sting fight Taker? What is it? Is it just because of the dark character that Sting had?
I think that's what it is.
Because they both had long black jackets, pretty much.
Yeah, and they're both dark characters, or they're both dead, ghosts, or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Was Sting supposed to be dead?
Well, like the Crow gimmick there?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was supposed to be, you know, a ghost or what there, but I know it was a Crow gimmick, so it was a crow, you know, it was a ghost, so.
He had just appeared in the arenas with a baseball bat.
And got a black coat in the back.
He didn't do anything, really, just appeared there.
He's on top. Put the spotlight on him. But basically that's all it is, because, you know, they're both dark characters and whatever, man. I guess that's the only reason people want to see that.
I don't even know if it would be a good match.
No. Because me personally, I wouldn't, nah.
Taker's an old man now. Sting can still go, you know, but he's old too, so
Yeah.
it's not like it would be a big, impressive match, really, there.
Not really.
It would have the potential for botching.
Yeah. There are a few botches because, you know, they're getting older and, you know, it's first time in WWE, so Sting has to get used to the, you know, all the WWE camera angles and do faces and do this and that. And
I'm still happy that Sting's going to be there. Hopefully he has some good matches with
well, yeah,
people.
hopefully they use him well.
Sting against Cena could be done and shit.
See, I'd rather see that. You know? Sting versus Cena? Yeah, I want to see that. It's better than Undertaker. Like, come on, I don't want to see Undertaker lose to Sting. Like, you know, I'd rather see Sting beat up Cena.
Kevin Nash is apparently bashing Roddy Piper online or something. I don't know if this is a joke or to appear on the podcast, apparently calling him an old fool. He says he got bitch slapped to the floor and Hogan and people saw it and shit, you know. Personally, I don't care to hear Nash talking like that about Piper. They're
talking shit against an older guy than you, so you
The
know, a
whole
legend, basically. He's a legend.
the whole thing with Kevin Nash, you know, talking shit to everyone.
Well, exactly. He always talks shit about a lot of people.
He had some of the lowest ratings as champ and shit. It was during his era in WWE that they were starting to go out of business.
Oh, yeah. Or whatever the fuck.
You know, the bullshit that he's big, so that means he's the best, or what?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It doesn't work that way, man. Because wrestling-wise, he's not good. He's not that good.
Well, he sucked as a wrestler there. You
It
know,
was
a big
basic punch and big boots, and that's it. You know.
3-4 moves tops, and that includes elbows and knees to the corner.
The knees to the corner.
The snake eyes from Taker. Boot, power bomb, that's it.
And he's talking shit against Piper, like, what the fuck?
Piper was a lot better than him there.
A lot more character.
So the WWE is blackballing Nancy Grace. Hulkster, what's your thoughts on this?
Like, come on, man, really? Like, you're worse than fucking the wrestling fans, man, freaking out for nothing there.
She said the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she mentioned roids. It was like, what?
She talked about steroids. I used to give them to wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly.
Myself.
And doesn't like it, you know, it's being exposed like that. You know, that, oh, there's roids in the wrestling world.
I don't want people to hear the truth.
Well, yeah, I think Vince is fucking pathetic for doing that shit there. You know, I'm a Vince fan, but that's pretty low.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, Willow. Jeff Hardy as Willow on TNA. What a bunch of fucking bullshit.
It's stupid. His stupidest character of all time, I think.
His promo this week, Willow, dang, 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 Willow, dang, 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 you know, what?
Like, okay, yeah. You know, like, fuck, man. And you're dressed like Hardy. He's dressed exactly like Hardy, everything like Hardy, his moves and all, but he has a mask and he's called Willow.
It's the same exact shit.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
And the laugh is a rip-off of the mask.
That too, there. Yeah, it's obvious there.
It's some kind of mask rip-off. I know it's a rip-off of something.
Guaranteed it's the mask, because it's the same laugh as Jim Carrey does, you know? Whatever the fuck they're high-pitched in there. Willow! I'm Willow! It's like, okay, what, do you have hemorrhoids or what there?
Is he trying to rip off? I know we had the gimmick before,
yeah.
What's his face there? The guy from the Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I know we had the gimmick before Bray Wyatt and some shit fed there that belonged to Matt Hardy, but, you know, I think that's why they brought this back in the forest and all of that shit.
He talks a little bit like Bray Wyatt, but a little more exaggerated, you know, more weird, and
it's not good.
no, fuck no, it's really not good.
Just more fucking TNA garbage.
Like I said, if you were going to make him as Willow, well, dress him up different. Not as Hardy. Because people know it's Hardy.
Why the fuck is he dressed the exact same?
Give him a finisher for Willow, a suit for Willow.
Couldn't he at least take off the armband?
Well, yeah, it's like, doesn't make any sense to me.
Everything about TNA sucks completely, from the champion to the Divas division, They got some hot girls in the knockout division.
Hot girls, hot asses and shit, that's pretty much it. Because they always botch, not good matches, like cheap storylines. They're not good on the mic. So,
The best part about TNA this week was Dixie Carter's body, I think.
Yeah, pulling on the beard. The beard is important, not Eric Young, the beard. It's like, okay.
I think Dixie is a lot better than MVP there.
Way better.
MVP is just fucking boring.
At least Dixie gets a reaction. MVP doesn't get a fucking reaction. He tries, but he doesn't.
So there you go, people. That's the Wrestling Jesus podcast, episode 1. Sorry this episode isn't as good.
First episode, man.
First episode had some technical difficulties. Have to do this shit on the phone. There's 2 of us on the speakerphone. Don't even know if it's gonna fucking go in right or what, but
hopefully, yes.
It's gonna fucking cost. It's gonna cost money to do this shit because it's long distance. You gotta fucking call. Fucking bullshit, motherfucker. If I want to upload a file, I gotta pay money apparently. Get a premium account. But
you Canadian.
From now on, motherfuckers, the show is going to be here on Blog Talk Radio every week, maybe even a couple times a week. I'll start off with some 30-minute shows giving my thoughts on Raw, Impact, SmackDown, wrestling news, all of that shit right here on Blog Talk. My days of wrestling on YouTube are over, but the Wrestling Jesus still lives on Twitter at twitter.com/Cedric Inc. Motherfuckers. So yeah, pretty much YWC, we're done with you.
You're too messed up for us. Too crazy, fuck.
Too fucking psychotic, fuck. Turning on us.
For going against logic.
Yeah.
For saying, not to beat up a fucking woman.
Threatening to beat up Nancy Grace, it's wrong no matter which way you put it. Even if she mentions steroids mixed with wrestling and you think it's insulting.
It's not a reason.
Doesn't justify threatening to beat her up, so there you go, people. I don't even know if this is done or what the hell there.
Yeah.
So let's sing a little song there. Which song should we sing there?
I have no clue.
I don't know.
Na na na